bonus video number 4 for Have a Ball is my favorite part, the hands. Because we started this whole process down at your feet, and we want to come back then and apply similar rules to your hands. We had kind of 3 points on the hands. So we'd be looking at the thumb, the index finger, and over to the side of the pinky finger, which would have been the heel, the big toe, and the pinky toe, right? Pretty fascinating. So check in with this mobility of your hand. What are you noticing in the two that makes you want to roll your hand? In yoga poses, you'd be on the hand there, would be plank, would be cat and cow, would be spinal balance, would be crocodile, would be downward facing dog, would be a number of different poses where you're putting weight on them, right? And then in some instances you put weight on the backs of your hands, say gorilla, if you're doing a forward fold and sliding your palms under your toes. So maybe that's your precursor to test what does it feel like here, and then come and roll through and then go back to that posture. That would be your apples to apples comparison. So again, you're going to take this and find the meaty part of your thumb with palm up here. You could also have the tennis ball on the floor and be pressing down this way with your actual hand that you're working on against the tennis ball. The problem with that usually is that the ball slips out from under your hand and goes shooting across the room. So then you've got to go running after it. So I tend to like to be able to put the pressure here on my hand, and then I'm going to roll toward the big index finger, or the pad of that, the base of it, and then roll across my palm toward the pinky finger side. And then maybe from the big index finger across the ball of the hand, like the ball of the foot, see how that feels, and then from that pinky finger edge back down and around to the thumb. Maybe it feels like you're making a rectangle, or you're making maybe a triangle again on your hand. You choose what feels best there. So we've worked the palm side, then we want to turn the hand over and start working the back side of that. Not nearly as comfortable, it's a lot more bony there, there's less padding. So I generally will only work the thick muscle of the thumb there, and then just test and be like, yeah, no, the backside doesn't feel great, but the outside by the pinky finger might feel really lovely to work there. You could work some of the wrist, but because they're really small bones, they don't really like a lot of pressure on them, so you probably have to back off there, but you could do both parts. This part of the wrist here, and also this part of the wrist there. It should be super fun. Once you've done that, and you're checking in again with your breath and with your pain tolerance, then notice the difference between the two hands. And then go back to whatever it was that you were using as your action that's comparing apples to apples, right? How does it feel to be on this hand now versus this hand? And I expect what you'll notice is that this feels like there's more suctionability or more connection or more circulation, or it just feels more alive, whatever the word is that you come up with, than the hand that you haven't rolled. So you come back and roll this other hand to see if we can get them to feel similarly, noticing that we use our hands different ways throughout the day because we're either right or left-handed, and so then that's going to make us use that hand more than the other one. We're not bilateral all the time. We tend to use one side significantly more than the other, so that particular side might need more attention. As you explore all that, let me know any questions you may have, and until then, have a ball.